am Belvin B. Fernando from BSN Science 2A, and to this video we tackled about the plastids, historical types of plastids, chloroplasts, distribution, morphology, isolation and chemical composition, also structures and function of chloroplasts. So now let's proceed to our discussion, which is first we tackled about the plastids.
What is plastids? Plastids are present in all living plant cells and in Euglena, a protozoan. They are small bodies found free in the cytoplasm. Plastids are often more or less spherical or disc-shaped, 1 to 1 mm in diameter, but may be elongated or looped or show amoeboid characteristics. Where we found the plastids? We found the plastids in plants. Its function stores pigments, colors, and found starch. Structures allow cells surrounded by double membrane and contain on DNA. All plastid in particular plant species contain multiple copies of same relatively small genome, DNA, and 70 type ribosomes. Plastids are absent in the cells of fungi, bacteria, animals, and male sperm cells of certain higher plants. We go to the historical. Chloroplasts described as early as 17th century by Nehemiah Groh and Antonio van Leeuwenhoek, while the plastids term used by Schipper in 1885, and he also classified the plastids of plants. And E. Meyer in 1885, F. Smith in 1884, and E. F. W. Schipper in 1885 made detailed cytological studies of the cell organelles and showed that chloroplasts always arise. Types of the plastids. The term plastid is described from the Greek word plastica, formed or molded. E. F. W. Schipper in 1885 classified the plastid into the following types according to their structures, pigments, and the functions. Number 1. Leucoplast. Leucoplast described in two words, leuco and plast. Leuco means white, plast means living. Are the colors plastids which are found in cell. Chromoplast. The chromoplast composed of two words, chroma, which means colored, plus, which means living, are the colored plastic containing carotenoids and other pigments. Number 3. Chloroplast. The chloroplast composed of two words, chlor, which means green, plus, which means living. Is most widely occurring chromoplast of the plants. It occurs mostly in the great algae and higher plants. The chloroplasts contain the pigment chlor. Chloroplasts. Chloroplasts, we will describe here only the chloroplasts in the detail because of two reasons. Firstly, they are most common plastids of many plant cells, and secondly, they perform the photosynthetic activity of greatest biological importance. By the process of photosynthesis, the chloroplasts synthesize the carbohydrates which contain energy in the form of chemical energy. Distribution. The chloroplasts remain distributed homogeneously in the cytoplasm of plant cells. But in certain cells, the chloroplasts become concentrated around the nucleus or just beneath the plasma membrane. Cell morphology. Shape. Higher plant chloroplasts are generally bisconvex or plano-convex. Size. The size of the chloroplast varies from species to species. The chloroplasts generally measure 2 to 3 mm in the thickness and 5 to 10 mm in the diameter. Example, Hadromonas. Number. The number of the chloroplasts varies from cell to cell and from species to species and is related with the psychological state of the cell, but is usually remain constant for a particular. Isolation and chemical compositions. Chloroplasts are routinely isolated from plant tissues by different centrifugation following the dispersion of the cells. Leaves are homogenized and ice-cold vapored isotic silane solution, example 0.35 and NaC at pH 8.0 point. The destruction is generally carried out with the bars or waring blender. After filtration through a nylon gauze 20 pore size to remove the larger particles of derids, nucleant tissues fragment, and unbroken cells. The chloroplasts are separated by unbroken structures. A chloroplast comprises the following three main components. Number 1. Envelope. The entire chloroplast is founded by an envelope which is made of the double unit membrane. Across the double membrane envelopes occur exchange of molecules between chloroplast and second, stroma. The matrix of stroma fills most of the volume of the chloroplast and is a kind of gene fluid phase that surrounds the thylakoids or agrana. Number 3. Thylakoids. The thylakoids sac liquor consists of plastid and closed vesicles arranged as a membrane network. Function of the chloroplast: photosynthesis, light reaction, and dark reaction. Number 1. Light reaction. It is also called Hell reaction. Photosynthesis, electrons transferred reaction to photochemical reaction. In light reaction, solar energy is trapped in the form of chemical energy of the ATP as the producing power and EDPH. During it, oxygen is involved by photolase of the splinted of water molecule. Number 2. Dark reaction. It's also called Calvin reaction. Photosynthesis, carbon reduction cycle, PCR cycle, carboprecipitation reaction of thermochemical reaction. In dark reaction, the reducing capacity of NADPH and the energy of ATP are utilized in the conversion of carbon dioxide to carbon dioxide.
That's all, and thank you.
Hydride.